At their recent Night City Wire, CD Projekt Red have released PC requirements for Cyberpunk 2077. They showed off a lot of cool stuff in their Night City Wire, however most of it I feel is stuff that I'd rather discover when I play the game for myself as opposed to rehash here. So this video is just going to be going over the PC requirements, and surprisingly they're quite low. First and foremost, we have got the minimum system requirements. So obviously it recommends either having Windows 7 or Windows 10 and DirectX 12. As for the hardware, anything lower than this, and I really wouldn't recommend trying to run this game on a PC like that because it more than likely won't be playable. And if you tried to play it on a seriously underpowered machine like your mum's 15-year-old Dell that she never replaces, it may overheat and die. Minimum Intel Core i5-3570K or AMD FX 8310, 8GB of RAM and an Nvidia GTX 783GB or an AMD Radeon RX 470. For storage it's 70GB, but it's recommended that you install it on a solid state drive. On a hard disk drive I can imagine loading screens being relatively absurd in length. It is important to remember that the minimum requirements don't really promise much beyond the game actually running on your PC. It might not perform particularly well, it'll probably have to be on the lowest settings. These lowest recommended settings are quite low, and that obviously indicates that the game's probably very well optimized. It's still, in my opinion at least, better to at least have something with a bit more juice than this. Not to knock it, they wouldn't be the minimum system requirements if they couldn't handle the game in at least some capacity, but it may not be the Cyberpunk experience that you're after. The recommended system requirements are Intel Core i7-4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200G. For memory it recommends 12GB, though if you're going to go for 12 you might as well go for 16. And the graphics card it recommends is an Nvidia GTX 1060 6GB or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. The storage recommendation doesn't change depending on what your specs are, all it's saying here is put it on a solid state drive. It's worth remembering that the recommended system specs don't promise anything beyond the game being agreeably playable. We're talking high to very high settings, 1080p or maybe even 1440p 30fps. Of course there are experts out there who know far more about this stuff than I do, but from experience I can't imagine myself being too far off. Anyway, that's enough of me patronising people who know more than I do. These requirements are remarkably low for what I expected, especially considering how great this game looks. If anything, that'll indicate to me that a game is well optimized. Usually a game that isn't too well optimized, you'll notice the PC system requirements are quite high. That and the file size only being 70GB for what seems like a massive game are both great indicators that this game will be optimized remarkably well. But you know what they say about counting chickens before they hatch. On the PC front, based on this alone, Cyberpunk 2077 is looking rather grand. With any luck it's indicative of a smooth PC launch. For some reason we don't see many of those these days. It just seems rare that a game will launch on PC without something going wrong, so I'm waiting for something inevitably to go wrong. But that's just me being a massive pessimist because it's in my blood. But that pessimism isn't well founded by the looks of it, so with any luck, come the 19th of November, regardless of what platform we're playing on, we all have a class time with Cyberpunk 2077. And god, that would be great because this game just looks great. But there you go, those are the PC requirements for Cyberpunk 2077, thus concluding this small brief video on the topic. The game is ambitious beyond belief, and hopefully come the 19th of November it'll deliver. So thank you all for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that would be fantastic. And with any luck I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, but until next time, goodbye.